my next guest, Damon Bailey, honored tonight on a Hickory night at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Damon, great to have you in the Fox Loft, and I guess this is an exciting night for you, an exciting year, inducted into the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame in March, and tonight honored at Bankers Life Fieldhouse.
Well, it just makes me feel old to hear someone like Coach Stevens, who's coaching the Celtics, talk about me when he was a kid and being inducted into the Hall of Fame, being honored here tonight. I guess when you're a legend, that just means you're old. So.
Before we go down memory lane, I want to update everyone on your current status as an assistant coach for the Butler women's team. How's that going for you?
It's going well. We're struggling a little bit, battling some injuries, but Butler's a great university to work at. Barry Collier and administration, are giving us everything we need to be successful there. So, if we can get everybody healthy, we're excited about where we're headed.
Such an outstanding career, and it started, I guess, in 8th grade when everyone sort of paid attention to you. And you've always kind of shied away from the spotlight, but how difficult was it to do that, given what happened in 8th grade and the season on the brink and what Bobby Knight said about you? And how much pressure was that kind of put on you against maybe you didn't have any choice in the matter?
Well, I don't know how much pressure. I think for me, it happened at such an early age that it was just life. People ask me all the time, how did you deal with it? The change. And, again, when it happens so early, I don't know any other way. I wasn't a junior or senior or, into college before starting to get all the recognition. So it's just kind of the way I grew up. So you have to make the adjustments. Obviously, there's a lot of positives, a lot of negatives that go along with that. I just tried to make the most of it.
I was one of at least 41,000 fans at the Hoosier Dome back in 1990 to watch that state championship game. I have a couple of memories. One was you going into the crowd to hug your family after winning the Mental Attitude Award, and then remembering that finding out they were out of Bedford North Lawrence t-shirts. I wanted to buy one at the Hoosier Dome, but what are your memories of that game?
Well, I think, obviously, looking back on it now, playing in front of 41,000 people is just remarkable. People talk about all the time with records, and records are made to be broken. I think that's one that may stand for a lifetime. To have that many people watch a high school basketball game, and I don't think any of us could really understand the magnitude of it at that time. We were used to playing in front of sold-out gyms, whether that was 5,000 or 6,000. We had a lot of games moved to Hinkle Assembly Hall to accommodate crowds, but so playing in front of 41,000 at that particular time was just another game with a lot of people there for us. But looking back on it now, it's truly something special.
You rarely see a storybook finish, but to score the final 11 points and to win that state championship game against an undefeated team, it could not have gone any better.
No, it couldn't have. Obviously, I was holding my breath a lot. I think they had 3 or 4 three-pointers there right in the last 10, 12 seconds to tie the game up. We couldn't get a rebound, but, it was just something that for us, I know I had worked very hard and my teammates had worked very hard to get to that point. And we had been to the Final Four 2 previous times, and had come up short, and it was just, we were just down to the last few minutes. And, and if we were ever going to win a state championship, it was down to 3 minutes. And, we just really dug deep and tried to compete. Obviously had a few breaks, a few balls bounce our way, and fortunately we were able to come out with a victory.
One of 3 boys to score 3,000 points in his high school career, the IHSA's all-time leading boy scorer, and we see the list, some great company. Do your kids ever look at that play basketball and say, Dad, how did you score 3,000 points?
You just have to shoot a lot. It was something that, for me, fortunately, I was able to score a lot of points, but really all through my career, whether it was the high school, college, whatever it was, tried to be very unselfish and tried to do whatever I needed to do to help the team win. And in some cases, that may be shoot a lot and try to score points, and other times it may be try to get the basketball to other people. So, for me, it was always about wins and losses. It really wasn't about the points or the personal notoriety that you got out of it. It was about wins and losses.
You won almost as many games as anybody at Indiana University, went to a Final Four. How do you reflect on those 4 years in Bloomington?
It was great. Fortunately for me, we were very good. I have won, more tournament games than any Indiana high school or Indiana University player. Won as many games as anybody. So, again, those are things that you can be very proud of individually. I played with a lot of great players, and we were able to have a lot of success. Fortunately for me and for us, we had a lot of success. I'd hate to have been there with Coach Knight in the years where you didn't have success because there were days that it was bad enough. So, you know, it's something that, you know, you can look back on with fond memories. And, you know, it's you know, people are going to say it all the time, or athletes are going to say it. It's one of the greatest times of your life because, you know, getting that competition, getting that camaraderie that you have with your teammates, that's just hard to replace in everyday life.
Final question. One of my most memorable events to cover happened to be a girls' state championship game when you were the assistant coach the first year at Bedford North Lawrence at the Holman Center in Terre Haute, and you're coaching your daughter. So you're the only person who went on to be the varsity coach the next year to win a state championship on the boys' side and the girls' side. Does that go down as one of your all-time best moments?
Well, definitely. I mean, obviously, as a parent, you're very, very proud, and to be able to share, you know, a state championship, having won one as a kid myself and as an individual, those are great. But, you know, anytime you can do something as a parent or be able to experience that with one of your children, you know, you can't top it.
All right, it's Damon Bailey tonight, a Hickory night as the Pacers take on the Boston Celtics. Checking one off my bucket list, having Damon Bailey in the Fox Loft for Pacers Live pregame.